Okay, so what you just see now is a new model that we just add, the Xiaomi MiMo V2.5 Pro. So it's also same as like the normal prompt that we use to use an IIS tracker. So let me copy this one and so just open here and let's see how MiMo is doing this one. Okay, so MiMo is kind of like creating this one is a black circle with lat and long. I think it's okay, but I think they still need some work on that. So let me think about this one. So actually this model is having a quite in thinking, it actually analyzing and have a specular map and so on, but somehow when doing the development, it actually not grabbing those ISS at all. The second thing that we're also doing is also we have GLM-5.2. I have given it the same prompt, and this is what it gave me on this one. So this is the first model that actually having the star around here and with the tracker and so on, but unfortunately we don't have the earth here. So in give you an equivalent example. So this is like what GPT 5.5 do in one shot. This is Gemini 3.1 and also this one is for Opus 4.7. So technically these two models is quite good in some of the coding performance in benchmark, but in reality I think this is still some gap that's still to be done on this one. All right, so welcome to Office Hour 50. So what I would like to share is that I have received some of the feedback and with the team and so on. So I would like to emphasize that AgenticFlow remain online and actively maintained. Our current focus is reliability, bug fix, workflow execution, quality, and integration stability. For account-specific issue, please email to support@agenticflow.ai with workspace detail, timestamp, screenshot, and step to reproduce. We will respond to you on that. For the product update, we will continue to update via Changelog and also Office Hour. If you can find the Changelog in here, docs.agenticflow.ai/Changelog. All right, so let's go into the topic of today. So we have quite a lot of topics that I would like to go through. The first one is during last 2 weeks, there's something that happened, which is the Fable 5, and this model was when it's released, it was kind of like top of the chart of everything. So it was leaving behind for like Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5 is like very far, like 30 point been per benchmark. So we were having an enjoy in 72 hours, and I'm just about to add this one to AgenticFlow via Pixel ML Open Router. But suddenly we have a problem. So the problem is Anthropics were announcing that the US government directive suspend access to Fable 5 and MyThought's files. So basically it is an export control, and the US government is issuing that only US citizen, which is American, can use this model. Even like if you are in US but you are not American with holding the passport, you cannot use. So that is ironically situation where even like in Anthropic, they are like overseas teammate we're not able to use, and one of the famous team is Andre Kapathy, which is the legend in AI right now. With this new policy, he cannot even use it. So it was issued in like June 12th, and today is like June 23rd. So it's already 11 days and not finalized yet. But from what I read and so on, then actually this is something new in Claude where they update this week. So they are starting to verifying the identity. They are using personal identities. So it means it will ask you for valid government issued photo ID, a phone camera, and also a filter to verify. So technically, I think Fable 5 is back, but only American can use. So given this limitation, I don't think that the API will be available anytime soon for us to use. So technically, I think for us as non-American at the moment, we cannot really do something about that. All right, but I think also because of the Fable 5 was having banned, it's like a first model ever have been banned by a government because of the dangerousity of that. There's some of the people in NSA also saying that on June 11, actually, my thoughts actually breaking to all of the critical services of NSA, and that is deemed dangerous to the public. So that's why they pull that back. So basically, this is creating a trending in different organization and even country. If US or any company that can just pull the model and restrict the access, so there's a need of new sovereign AI, and you need to control your models, and that's why I think it is come back to here. So we are also introducing a new models families that come into AgenticFlow. One is the GLM-5.2 and also MiMo V2.5 Pro and MiMo V2.5, and we also added Mistral NeMo as well. So for GLM-5.2 and MiMo, you can access via Pixel ML Open Router, and for MiMo 2.5 and Mistral, it is included in AgenticFlow built-in model list. All right, let's go one by one on that. So let's go into GLM-5.4 first. So this model is releasing right after Fable 5 was off, and this is having really great performance comparing to Opus 4.8. So what Z.AI Zipu is positioning is that this is a model that actually better than GPT-5, but a little less better than Frontier of Claude, but with the price is much cheaper and affordable. And because of the model is MIT, so anyone can take the model and hosting in their inference architecture, and that's why this model is really taking off. And GLM 4.5 is positioning as a long horizon coding and agent model with 1 million context length and 128K max output and strong coding agent benchmark result, including Terminal Bench 2.1 and Software Engineering Bench Pro. And one funny thing about this one is this company was IPO somewhere in early January with around 100 or something Hong Kong dollar, and after amount of time it was winning up 15 times from the IPO. So if you are bought in some stock this company, you are already millionaire already. But this is funny because I think the reason why they are pumping up a lot is because VC and also the public interest was realizing that they can get the Opus level with very efficient and cost efficient. So perhaps if they cannot buy Opus, they can buy Zipu. So that's why people is buying this company. In this have a lot of good benchmark, even it beat Fable 5 at website design. It is published by Design Arena, and even Elon Musk and also Jai CEO is all talking about that. There's a question from people that say, what is your current timeline for China to reach Fable class? So Elon Musk himself say it's probably Q1. I guess this will be 2027. And Jai, which is the CEO of Z.AI, he just replied not that long. So it means people believing that Z.AI is actually going to chase up to Anthropic and other frontier model and giving open source. So that's why there's a rally in stock and so on. So basically we have Z.AI available, and I just tasked in here. You can actually go here into Pixel ML and then you scroll down in here. This model is having max context of 1 million with max token of 131K. This model unfortunately do not have the vision available, so you are not able to see that. I try with this one, so I would say this is quite strong with only one shot. It have in the star, even I don't know where is the globe, but I mean with few iteration maybe it's getting better, but comparing to one shot from the other model is still a little bit high. Okay, yeah. So next one I would like to share about is MiMo 2.5 Pro. So this model is a rival to the model tier of DeepSeek V4, Kimi 2.6, and also GLM 5.1. So it is actually beating slightly over the other. So technically, MiMo 2.5 Pro is also 1 2.02 trillion parameter. It is also the Mistral app expert with 42 billion active parameter and 1 million contact length. So it's also quite good in horizontal agent decoding and to news workflow. So I test this with that one, and also I show you like how it's come up with this in one shot. Even though it is like still have some work to do, but I think the fundamental is right. You have the earth here. I think this dot will be an ISS. We can zoom in, zoom out. We have the star around, and we have the longitude and so technically it should be usable, and it's also this model is quite economically possible as well. So I think this is something that you can also try. Together with MiMo V2.5 Pro is the MiMo V2.5. This is also having this is bring a native multimodal perception. With very long contact length, or 1 million token context, and it has strong agent decoding result with a lower cost than a Pro model. So I'm happy to share that the MiMo 2.5 will be included into your AgenticFlow workspace, and you can find that in here. And this model is also having the vision available, so you can also charge with that. Okay, so the MiMo V2.5 bring native multimodal perception, 1 million context, and also strong agent decoding result at lower cost than Pro model. Okay, so that's what you can use. During the meme of Fable 5 in here, actually when the thing is taking off, people is quite pissed about that. So actually they come up with some funny thing, which is a new internet meme. So it's called Le Chaton Fat. So I think it's like a fat kitten, something in French. So it's like we're saying that it's beat everything Fable 5, and also everything is in the Dutch. And if there's a small cloud method, then Le Chaton Fat is much bigger. And even like the CEO of like Mistral is also drop a picture to join into the joke and meme. And some people will even like make up an announcement that EU government is suspend the access to model. So technically, this model is not real. This model is kind of like an internet meme that people is having up. But also it remind me about like a Mistral. So that's why I was bringing a small model that not MiMo. It is like Mistral NeMo. So this is a small model, but it is kind of like impressive because I saw that this is a very good in multilingual model for the mass, because I think Claude and also GPT and so on is focusing on English first, and they focus on kinds of like coding, but sometimes we don't only do coding, right? We also do some creative writing and in different language, and from the data of like the customer of AgenticFlow, I noticed that on the Europe you also have this one, and also Mistral is from Europe, so that I think this one would be helpful for you. So what I'm thinking is for Mistral NeMo, because it's very small and very efficient and good in different language, you can use that for your maybe like storage chatbot, and that is good because you see here the compression ratio and also all this one is very good comparing to other. So it was saying like it is also 2x and 3x more efficient than other languages and tokenizer. So I think give it a try. It's just quite good from my experience. Alright, so so come back to this one. In Changelog 50, we have quite a lot of things in here, but I'm going to go through that later. And after this one, I'm going to go through also the series of like what new we add into this CLI series as well. But let's go into the Changelog. Okay, let's go into the Changelog. Alright, so Changelog of 50 is including like the new model, MCP reliability, and also route stability. So some highlight that apart from the new model was added in Pixel ML and AgenticFlow, we're also fixing some like MCP setup now consistent with OAuth reduce discovery mismatch. We also doing in MCP integration. We will proactively refresh token when the token is valid, reducing the manual re-authentication. So it means you can just to connect one, and we will refresh that token until that is necessary, so that the agent will not like die because of the MCP was revoked, because like the token that the MCP server gave to us is kind of like short-lived, right? It could be like a day or like few days, and if we do not like refresh it automatically, they will just expire. So we also improving the MCP onboarding and agent chat now to provide a clearer setup and threat state handling for smoother setup. We're also having some public route outcome more predictable when permission data is incomplete, and also some of the keyboard interaction. So if you would like more details, click here. It will lead you to here. So I think one of the things I just add is these four models have been added. You can find that in AgenticFlow bucket with Mistral NeMo and MiMo 2.5 or Pixel ML for the GLM 5.2 and also the Xiaomi MiMo 2.5 Pro. For the custom MCP connection on authentication, so we can have this one. So thanks to a customer that actually proactively sent an email to us to raising about this issue on the Pro tool out, and we fixed that, and right now it's okay for now. Also, we have some improvement in chat and MCP UX. So we will make the onboarding and chat stuff better. So AgenticFlow workflow will surface cleaner in-app guidance when workflow require an active MCP. So for example, like there's this workflow is requiring a nano banana, then we will show you like this one, missing connection, connect require app before chatting, nano banana pro whiteboard. So it will help you in case that you don't know what happened wrong. So basically there's a template on marketplace, but this template is requiring nano banana connection, so you need that. We also having a MCP toggle to having a visible on off stage so that you can actually see whether they are exporting value or running mask mode on this area. For the public road, we also fix some RV item in this one for public admin area and also public tool. We are also having some interaction and accessibility improvement, including like workflow step control, data set, task, agent flow, project API key. So they basically it is more on the semantic and keyboard accessibility. So it is like a small UX improvement, but because it's a lot of stage, and we take time to review those so that it can be fixed across. So the behavior will remain the same, and the control path will be consistent and eager to navigate with keyboard integration. So you can just press up, down, left, right in order to navigate around. So in common, so in this area we fix I think around 10 issue and also improvement enhancement bug. You can check further here. So this one is the screenshot before, which is the authentication required, and after that is actually fetching the tool that you can see here, and the data set was having some error here, but after that is working well. Yeah, so after this one, so the next one I would like to share is we're also adding a new blueprint prompt for this week. So this is about this one. This is about the Cloud Code and Codex and Ishi AgenticFlow CLI series. So right now we are already publishing around like 33 episode already, and we are really on track to having the 50 use cases by July. So if you're watching this series very close, you see that every workflow that we have in here is very practical. It do only one thing, and we're focusing on like how you can just achieving this workflow by one click. So because like right now the AI is very powerful already, regardless of like your coding agent could be Cloud Code or Codex or Ishi, you can just one click, just copy your prompt and send to that, and it should be already figured out. So today we are also talking about few things. One is about the AI News Digest package. This one will power it by Ishi, and it's also one click to workflow. The second one is the Invoice Archive Extraction. This one will be created by Codex using AgenticFlow CLI, also one click to workflow. Next one is Commodity Risk Brief, also by Codex and AgenticFlow CLI, also one click to workflow. The next one is the Verified User Profile Card. It's also using Ishi with AgenticFlow CLI, one click to workflow. The UX Research Plan Builder, also Ishi and AgenticFlow CLI, one click to workflow. Two more to go. Okay. A service package recommendation, also Codex with AgenticFlow CLI, one click to workflow. And finally is a no-show appointment recovery. This is one doing by Codex and AgenticFlow CLI. So you can always come back in here and go into Changelog on number 50, go into 7 workflow. We have the prompt here. Just copy this entire prompt and send to your preferred choice of agent, and they will just build it for you. Yeah, and I think that's it for today. So I hope that today I give you some of the information about what have been changed in matter last 2 weeks. And if you if you have any question or issue or suggestion would like to add, please send email to support@AgenticFlow CLI. We will have our team member to monitoring this official mailbox to respond to you. All right, so thanks everyone for your time, and I will see you in the next office hour. Bye bye.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. Today we're returning to our series on quickly creating workflows for agents using AgenticFlow COI. and today we'll be using AgenticFlow CLI with EC, okay? Today, I'm bringing you a prompt. This prompt will help you extract content from a news URL. For example, I'm using the BBC News Technology page, filtering for AI and tech items, categorizing, summarizing, and then creating a draft daily digest. The inputs will be a URL for the news site you want to get information from, and a digest policy where we'll need to enter rules for filtering items, categorizing, writing the digest, and external actions that aren't claimed. Right now, I've just made a conceptual prompt. If you want to add things like saving to Google Sheets or sending via Gmail, you can totally brainstorm with EC. EC will help you create those nodes, maybe suggesting you add MCP to connect with Google Sheets or Gmail so you can please make better use of this prompt as well as the output information from this page. Okay, just take a moment. Just click send so EC can create the workflow for you. The output of this workflow will include a digest title, a categorized item table, a concise summary, a why it matters note, and editor notes. If you've watched many of our videos or even used our previous prompts, this will look very familiar to you, as the EC screen shows the first steps, which are finding the right LLM nodes for our prompt's goal. Then, at this stage, the system proceeds to create a detailed workflow specifically designed for the artificial intelligence news digest path, ensuring that all the appropriate nodes and necessary steps are included in the process. After that step is completed, the EC component will move forward and execute the entire workflow by utilizing the BBC News URL, which we provided earlier at the very beginning of this process. Now, at this point, you can absolutely change it to other news sites you want info from. Instead of reading them yourself, you can set this up to even send it to your email. Those nodes are quite simple. You can find MCP nodes or just ask EC to install them for you. Okay, EC has reached the second step now. EC will help with nodes involving AI models using Gemini 2.5 Flashlight to execute them. We can see that the workflow appears to have already been run. Here is the information, specifically our website, from which we need to extract the data. You can take a look here to see how EC actually operates. All right, we have now obtained a draft. This is the information that we have gathered. Let's scroll back up here. Okay. The info we got includes headlines, headings, and basically a summary. These are concise summaries and why they matter. Here it creates an editor's note. You can also ask the AI to have this workflow print out your URL, so you can request EC to do that as well. Let's take a look at how that workflow was created. Our workflow will consist of two nodes like this. First, it uses the Gemini 2.5 Flashlight model to request information from the source URL. That's the input, the user input, which we're assigning to a news URL variable right here. It can be completely modified, or we can go into single run to edit this part. This is our input for when we execute this workflow. Then we have another node to extract the specific information that we need. And it also uses the Gemini 2.5 Flashlight model. In history, let's review the successful session from earlier, where the source URL input was BBC News and Technology. These are the news items where we extracted information from that URL just now. We'll have a table format with headlines categorized by section along with their summaries. It's very detailed, isn't it? To reiterate, this is our concept, so you're free to use EC or any other AI coding agent. Of course, you'll need to install AgenticFlow CLI to further develop this prompt to fit your specific needs. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you have any issues using AgenticFlow or if you find a bug, please contact us via our support email. Please send the agent URLs or workspace URLs where you're having issues, and we'll check the history to see what's wrong. It's best to send the URLs for the agent and workspace where you're seeing errors and describe what you're trying to do and your expectations so we can understand and fix the bug effectively. Now, if you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it's a great way to support us and we really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please comment below. Once again, have a great day at work. Thank you and see you in the next episodes. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. And today we're back with our series on quickly creating workflows using the AgenticFlow CLI on AI coding agents like Codex, Claude, and E2B. So today I'm going to introduce a new prompt to you. This prompt is designed to extract invoice metadata from emails, such as file names, storage folders, flag items for review, and create handoff notes for finance regarding the invoices you receive. This workflow only creates a draft. It doesn't automatically upload, send emails, or write to external systems. As you can see, the input is shown here. If you receive an email with invoice information like this, the input you'll provide to the workflow using this prompt includes the email content, extraction rules, classification, file name, and folder selection. This will vary. I'm just using an example here, depending on your company's actual policies or your specific business requirements. You can completely customize it. The output that you will receive from this workflow will be a comprehensive table that contains all of the extracted invoice metadata, including the relevant file names, the suggested folders for organization, any review flags that may have been raised, as well as detailed finance handoff notes for your reference. It is actually very simple to use. All you need to do is copy the provided prompt and paste it directly into the chat section of Codex. For this demonstration, I will be utilizing ChatGPT version 5.5, which is the latest release at the time of this recording. I'll click send to start generating this prompt. To use this method, you will need to install the AgenticFlow command line interface or CLI on your computer. If you need a reminder, you can always refer back to the very first video in this series for guidance. To learn how to install the AgenticFlow command line interface or CLI on your own machine, follow along with this guide. Besides Codex, you can also use Claude or even E2B with this method. This is just one workflow idea we've built for you. You can try it out, experiment a little, and get creative with it, or adopt it and tailor it to fit your specific business or personal needs, making sure it aligns with your unique goals and requirements. You can also take the opportunity to discuss your ideas in detail with Claude, Codex, or E2B. These advanced AI assistants are available to help you refine your concepts, brainstorm new directions, and even generate these prompts for you if you need inspiration. They can also assist with debugging, troubleshooting, and providing guidance if you run into any issues. And in case you're actually working with a team or collaborating with others, you can share your progress and get feedback to further improve your results. If these AI coding agents still encounter errors, you can always send an email to the AgenticFlow support inbox so that our team can provide assistance. You just need to send the agent or the workflow URL, and we will review the settings and the error. From there, we can fix the bug or provide recommendations for you to set it up correctly. The sequence for these AI coding agents is that they will naturally check if our command line interface or CLI is in good health. Then after that, it will search for the appropriate nodes in the AgenticFlow workflow to fulfill the request of this prompt. And finally, it will begin to deploy a workflow, run a test, and print the results for us to see directly on Codex. What you see on the screen right now is Codex. And after about 5 minutes, which by the way is actually not a long time at all, Codex has helped us to create a complete workflow. Here you can clearly see the results of the workflow that Codex ran for us, which successfully extracted every single piece of metadata from the invoice. Regarding the review flags that we need to pay close attention to, we have the file names and folders, which we should always make sure to name or store properly and correctly according to the policy. There will be a handoff note. You can also do a bit more by sending it via email, uploading it to your drive, or saving it on Google Sheets through MCP. If you don't know how to use it yet, you can ask Codex itself to look it up and perform it on AgenticFlow CLI. Right? Let's try looking at the workflow on the AgenticFlow CLI interface. And you go into workflow and see a workflow that has been created by Codex. You can see the build part, the node that Codex created for us, which has two parts, the prompt and the system message. You can try running it with a single run by filling in these inputs. Or there's the history section here where you can review the previous successful run that Codex performed. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you found the video helpful, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, just comment below and we will read and answer. Once again, thank you and goodbye. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. And today we're back with our series on quickly creating workflows through the AgenticFlow CLI using AI coding agents like Claude, Codex, or Ishi. In this episode, I am going to be using Codex, which is a powerful tool to carefully create a comprehensive workflow, step by step, to thoroughly analyze a wide range of commodity market signals. I will also be calculating and examining simple price volatility context in detail, and then generating a detailed operational risk brief that includes key impact drivers, recommended non-trading actions, and clearly defined limits for risk management. My input for this process will be various market signals, which I will explain and discuss as we go along. There will be risk policies used to assess anomalies, alert levels, operational actions, and things that shouldn't be claimed. These signals will include market data on shipping, OPEC news, or content exposure levels. For the output, we'll have an executive summary and alert level, operational impact, drivers and non-trading actions, limitations, caveats, and some recommendations. But this does not provide any investment advice. Currently, my prompt looks like this. All right, it's very simple. You just need to paste this prompt into an AI coding agent. I am currently using Codex uses the AgenticFlow CLI to create the workflow with for those of you seeing this for the first time, if you want to use the AgenticFlow CLI, please check out the first video in the playlist. We have a tutorial on how to install the AgenticFlow CLI on your desktop. You can absolutely use many different AI coding agents, and these prompts are just the foundation for ideas. Because I know that in actual work, you might need more things to process, more nodes to handle. You'll need to create more nodes to build an automation with multiple steps in a workflow to complete a full work sequence. So I really hope that this prompt can serve as a helpful idea that you can actually use by asking your own coding agents like Codex, Claude, or Ishi to assist you in building and bringing to life workflow ideas that help automate your work. I'll take a moment to think about how these tools might fit into your daily routine. So, when you put this prompt into this AI agent coding environment, the very first thing that Codex will do is check our connection, the health and status of the agent, to see if the AgenticFlow CLI is functioning properly and everything is okay. If it's okay, then it will start searching for suitable nodes to create the nodes that can perform the task of the prompt we provided. There. So if you have any ideas for a workflow, just chat with Codex. Once you have the AgenticFlow CLI, it's very powerful. You can definitely ask Codex to create those workflows for you instead of going on to AgenticFlow and tinkering with things yourself, which honestly can be boogy and pretty time consuming. These AI agent coding tools like Codex will be a very good and useful assistant to help you save time and create usable workflows. And of course, if you encounter any bugs, just message or contact us via email, and we will record it and create a ticket to work with the team to fix it for use on the AgenticFlow platform. And after about 3 minutes, which by most standards is actually quite fast for a process like this, the workflow was created. Here, you will see an executive summary, an alert level for drivers, operational impacts, non-trading actions, and limitations, all presented in these sections. So when you open up the AgenticFlow workflow user interface, you can take a moment to carefully review the detailed results of the run that Codex has just performed for you. This is the workflow Codex created consisting of 4 nodes, and you can examine these nodes to understand how Codex used the AgenticFlow CLI to generate the workflow from our prompt. Then you can go back to history to review the session and the input. This is simply an example. From the prompt that we have, we receive this input, and then after processing, we will get the output. This is going to be a complete and finished script. This is just our idea. If you have any ideas at all, you can easily take a moment to brainstorm together with Codex or with any other AI agent coding tool to help create these workflows on AgenticFlow UI very quickly. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment down below, or if you encounter any, please contact the support email of AgenticFlow. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Have a great day. Goodbye and see you again. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. Today we're returning to our ongoing series on how to quickly create workflows using the AgenticFlow CLI. Right now I'm using an agent AI coding tool that I have here on the screen, which as you can see is called Ezi. Right. Currently, our episodes are focused on creating workflows, but we'll definitely expand to introduce more use cases related to agents. So please stay tuned and wait for us. Now, I'm going to introduce a prompt to you. This prompt will help you, let's say, verify a user profile. It validates the email, creates an HTML profile card, renders it as an image, then returns a copy and delivers that profile, along with the information that has been logged for the CRM system, as well as the user profile. So for the profile here, the input will include user details such as the person's full name, their email address, their job position or title, the company they work for, and a short bio for that individual. And the way we profile, we can completely edit it, right? So we can create a verified user profile card, a verified user profile card. All right, okay, just give me a second. Please press the enter key now so that Easy can execute this prompt for you. Just press enter whenever you're ready and Easy will handle the rest. The output of this workflow will be a validated profile where the profile information fields are validated along with the verification status and a profile card via URL. And well, image output. There, it sends an email copy and the log fields for the CRM. Done. We can see Easy's to-do list here. After it receives our prompt, it will first search for the nodes needed to complete the email validation process. Once that is done, it will then create the image for the profile card, design and create a verified user profile card workflow there. Please execute this workflow using Alice Rivera's information. Yeah. Then report the results as the validated information fields, the profile card URL, the email copy, the verification status, and the CRM log fields. Okay. Right here, the easy workflow immediately reported finding 3 workflows, building 1 workflow with 3 nodes. The first node is to validate the profile fields, produce verification status, deliver email copy, and these CRM log fields. The second node is for generating the image for the profile card. And the final node is to compute the final structured output with all the deliverables that the 2 nodes above created. Okay. We can see that DC will create the workflow using the GPT-4o mini model. We have many models depending on the provider you choose. There will be AgenticFlow, nodes related to the AgenticFlow provider, and there will be nodes related to the Pixel ML provider. Specifically for Pixel ML nodes, you will need to use Pixel ML credits in order to successfully access and make use of the premium models. But for AgenticFlow, I think you can already use those models. They meet many of our basic needs, and it will only consume AgenticFlow credits. Especially for AppSumo customers, you don't need to top up Pixel ML credits anymore. You can just use AgenticFlow credits. Every month, you'll get a fairly large amount of credits refreshed for you to use. All right, okay? We can see the returned results from the workflow that was created. Now you'll see the information that has been validated. Okay, right? Verification status. 5 fields, these 5 pieces of information have been validated. This is the image. This is the profile URL image. So I'll take this image and open it later to see how it looks on the workflow. We need to send an email to Alex Rivera, making sure to include all the information he will need. Also, let's make sure we have the details required to log back into the CRM system so that if we ever get logged out or need to access it again, we can do so easily. Please double check that everything is accurate and complete before sending the email, okay? So this is the workflow that has been created. We can see that there's a first node here to perform validation on all the information using the chat model GPT-4o mini, and another one to generate an image using the Z image model, which is built into AgenticFlow. We can adjust the aspect ratio. It's currently 4:3, which is standard for ID photos, and the format is JPEG, right? Let's check the history to see how it ran. Here's the history, and these are the results. Okay. This is the image that was generated based on the information above. You can download this and print it out to use as a company access card, for example, with all the validated information. All right, okay. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Your support really helps us out and is a wonderful morale boost for the AgenticFlow team. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and we'll get back to you. If you encounter any bugs while using AgenticFlow, please send an email to our support address to report any errors so we can investigate and trace the bugs more effectively, tracing the bugs better, right? Once again, thanks for watching the whole video. Have a great workday. Goodbye and see you next time. Hi there, hello everyone. Welcome back once again to the AgenticFlow channel. Today, we're returning to our ongoing series on quickly and efficiently creating workflows or intelligent agents using the AgenticFlow CLI, which is an advanced AI agent coding tool. We'll be working with EC again, and I'll be introducing you to a prompt that serves as a comprehensive UX research plan builder. With its functionality, it will transform the research brief and any related constraints into a complete and thorough UX research plan ready for leadership review. This plan should include research questions, methodologies, participant profiles, interview guides, survey questions, and approval checklists. The input for this workflow will consist of research briefs like product details, audience, hypotheses, and key decisions to support, along with research constraints such as timeline, sample size, channels, and approval requirements. You just need to run it by clicking send or pressing enter to execute this prompt. This prompt will help you generate a workflow that outputs research questions, methods, participant profiles, interview guides, and survey questions. It will also include an approval checklist and expected leadership decisions. In EC, it's very clear. You'll see a list of to-dos showing what we need to do and what EC will do once it receives our prompt. For the most part, we can observe what EC is doing. However, if you don't have a technical background and only care about the results, you can just wait for EC to provide the output. Then we can review and evaluate it together. If the result isn't quite right or doesn't meet our expectations, we can communicate further with EC through the chat. This allows us to create a more comprehensive and overall better result. Okay, so I ran into an error earlier. I just went ahead and refreshed the Pixel ML API key so I could use the Pixel ML graders, and now there really should not be any issue. So if you encounter an error and don't know how to fix it, just take a screenshot and send it to AgenticFlow support so that we can assist you. Okay, I see EC has deployed the workflow to AgenticFlow. So now let's have EC try running the workflow to see if there are any issues. Now we'll use the GPT-4o mini model from the AgenticFlow provider. This will only consume your AgenticFlow credits. And especially for AppSumo users, these AgenticFlow credits will be refreshed every month. It will not touch your Pixel ML credits. Those are the credits that you top up separately in order to use premium models. Okay, we can see the results are being returned in a chart, also in a JSON format like this. All right, 5 out of 6 nodes have been completed. Waiting for the final node to see the results. Of course, this is just a prompt idea that we assume you might use and encounter daily in your actual work, whatever that may be. You can adjust the prompt and you don't have to do everything manually. You can ask EC or any AI coding agent to optimize this prompt for you so you can use it to create workflows that meet your actual business needs. Here we can see that it returns a plan, a UX research plan builder with research questions and methods in JSON format. There's a participant profile. A participant profile. The interview guide, what the agenda looks like, survey questions, there they are, and what the approval checklist looks like. Now you can take a moment to check the workflow so you can see exactly how it was created. Okay, this is the workflow interface on the AgenticFlow channel. And today, let's dive in. Today we just told EC to help us create a workflow. So let's take a look. Here, we have many nodes created according to the output requirements. So there are this many nodes. You can see how AI AgenticFlow and EC helped us create this, right? We'll go to the history section. to review the results of the most recent run. You can see our input from the prompt and the results like this. See, research questions, methods, and timeline in JSON format, participant profile in the screener. These are all included. It's very clear and detailed, isn't it? So you can easily apply this flow later on for many different types of products. You just need to add the specific product information. This way, you can quickly get a plan like this without needing to spend an entire afternoon carefully drafting everything out one by one. Alright, thanks for watching this far. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. This will be a great moral support for the AgenticFlow team. If you have any questions, just comment below. We'll read and answer them. If you encounter any bugs while using AgenticFlow, just email AgenticFlow's support email and we'll respond. Just describe the bugs you found, your needs for the workflow agent, and attach the link. For the workflow agent, include the URL so we can check, identify, and fix the error for you. Thank you, and finally, thank you for watching until the end of the video. I wish you a very energetic workday. One last time, thank you and goodbye. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. Today, we're returning to the series on quickly creating workflows and agents on AgenticFlow using the AgenticFlow tool. We'll be using it with an AI agent for coding, specifically Codex. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a Chrome extension, and this Chrome extension will help with the function of reading questions from potential customers. We will navigate and start, and depending on their budget band, we will create packages, propose service bundles, including the reasons why they need this package, the scope, deployment plan, risks, and next steps, and then send a draft email to the customer. Here you can see that I am assuming a company with the following information. They will have needs and a budget as mentioned above. And we will have rules regarding the packages. For example, the basic package is under $8,000. The standard package is $8,000 to $20,000, but it needs to have the comprehensive flow design dashboard training session will cover specific rules like these. Depending entirely on your own company's unique internal policies and established guidelines, you have the ability to completely modify the final output. This ensures that it generates a carefully selected service package that perfectly matches the customer's specific needs, including the full necessary scope of work to be delivered, such as a detailed implementation plan, or perhaps a combination of an email and a formal implementation plan. Okay, that covers the basics. You will have the next steps and risks so that the SEO team and the CS team can keep track of the progress and handle them. Then go ahead and run this prompt. If this is your very first time watching this video series, please keep in mind that these tutorials are specifically designed to help you quickly understand the process of creating complex workflows on the AgenticFlow platform. We will achieve this by utilizing a powerful AI coding agent such as Codex, Cloud, or EC to automatically build a workflow for you from scratch. By following this method, you won't have to spend your valuable time manually creating every single workflow on AgenticFlow AI, nor will you need to struggle to figure out the function of each individual node or deal with the frustration of trying to set things up repeatedly through trial and error. Ultimately, adopting this automated approach will significantly help to shorten your overall learning curve and make you much more efficient. Also, you can use these very Codex agents to debug your workflows as well. Or if there are issues you can't fix, just send an email to our support team and we will assist you. We just need you to provide us with the URL, the link to the agent and the workflow, and we will find and fix the error for you. To provide a comprehensive overview of the underlying mechanism, When we have a specific agent operating within Codex, or indeed any agent in any complex workflow, the very first thing Codex will do is perform a thorough diagnostic evaluation of the current health and operational status of the AI. Following this, it will meticulously search for and identify the most suitable nodes in the workflow to create and successfully initiate the entire execution process from start to finish. Of our automated design workflow. With this specific blueprint, CorelDRAW automatically calculates and determines that we may have 4 distinct and specific nodes for this entire workflow to run successfully. As you can see on the screen, then we need to select the appropriate nodes. As you navigate the interface, there will be some specific nodes that require you to manually select the most appropriate ones for your workflow. However, please rest assured and feel confident in the process because we have carefully set the system by default to utilize only those specific nodes that consume your AgenticFlow credits. These are the exact same credits that all AppSumo customers are entitled to receive for free every single month as part of their plan. Furthermore, you can be certain that this process will not use any of your separate Pixel email credits, keeping your resources distinct and protected. All right then. Now that my session has been created, it will perform a test run of that specific workflow. If it succeeds without any issues, it will display the final result on the screen. However, if it fails at any point, Codex will automatically try to debug the errors and fix the workflow so that it can run properly. Here we can see that the workflow has run successfully. We truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video today, and we hope the information shared has been helpful for your needs. Your support means the world to our team as we work to bring you the best possible content. Thank you once again for your support, and we look forward to seeing you in our very next video. After the execution time, here is the output. When the result is produced, you can see it here. When validating the result, Codex noticed some errors. So Codex will try to ensure that the result is uniform and consistent at all times. With the workflow, and rerun it to validate once more to see if the result is accurate. That's the advantage of Codex. It saves time. Or really, any AI agent at all will help us save a lot of time when creating workflows. All right. Okay, got it. Very clear and detailed. From the very beginning, our input information will determine which packet to choose, why it serves the purpose, what makes it suitable, what the implementation plan is, and there will be a grab email to get approval for this, to get it reviewed, to note down what needs to be done, to note down additional tasks, to finalize things, to work with the client, and there will be a document for us to keep everything organized. So let's take a look at how this workflow will appear on the UI and see how it is displayed. Then you can see that the newly generated Google document file we created is automatically assigned a specific title based on our settings, and it already has a pre-filled description included right from the beginning. In this specific section here, we will have all the detailed notes and steps for you to follow. Okay, I have just refreshed the browser page, and now we can clearly see that for every single note provided, there are detailed calculation formulas, a specific wrap, and tailored recommendations based on the underlying JSON file. With a comprehensive prompt like this one, you have the flexibility to utilize many different models, and you can also choose from a wide variety of distinct modules depending on your needs, whether you specifically need to filter out certain content or share your results with the wider community, and you can easily view your entire activity history as well. You can easily view the detailed execution results. For example, here we have the specific input section, which contains all the various pieces of input information that we originally assumed in the prompt. Here are the results returned for each step performed. And finally, this is the result that we saw earlier, and Codex has displayed it for us to preview. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support Agency's Flow channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you need support, such as encountering any bugs while using AgenticFlow, just send us the bug information along with the links to the agent or workflow where you encountered the issue so we can review and provide timely fixes. This way, we can resolve issues more effectively. Finally, thank you for watching the video until the end. Goodbye and see you next time. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AgenticFlow channel. Today, we are once again returning to our ongoing series about quickly and efficiently creating workflows right here on AgenticFlow using the AgenticFlow command line interface, or CLI, and we'll be using an AI coding agent called Codex. As in previous episodes, it's actually very fast and straightforward. You just need to copy the prompt that we've carefully prepared for you in advance to create this workflow. This workflow will have the important function of evaluating an appointment, helping you finalize a recovery decision, automatically timestamping it, and drafting a detailed alert to help you schedule that appointment efficiently. Take your time to follow each step, and remember, this workflow is designed to make the entire process much smoother and more manageable for you. The input for this workflow will include the appointment record, which is essentially the lead's information, the scheduled meeting time, the current time, the lead score, recent activity, the assigned owner, and any details about rescheduling. All of these elements are important for the workflow to operate smoothly, right? And there will be a recovery policy, a no-show threshold, high intent conditions, the messages to be created, and escalation rules. The output of this workflow will be a detailed JSON file, which will include information such as the no-show status and the current lead status. It will also provide a reschedule message as well as a reschedule alert for the sales team to reply to. So, in addition, there will be a same-day follow-up checklist, and if urgent handling is needed, escalation notes will be included. It will be scheduled for June 4th, 2026 at 9 o'clock in the morning. The lead score is currently 87. The enterprise pricing guide, the sales owner will be Jenna. And there's a reschedule link, which is actually the specific link that you will need to copy from your own meeting platform. The recovery policy here is that it's considered a no-show if it is more than 30 minutes past the scheduled time. It's considered high intent if the lead score is over 75 and there is activity specifically related to enterprise pricing. Please send a friendly reschedule message and promptly alert the owner on the same day for follow-up. Okay, thank you. I think this will be very suitable for sales teams. You can get this information from your CRM. So you can use MCP, or you can connect through get data via API, right? So for you guys, you can use Codex itself with the AI agent coding so that the AI agent coding will look up the documentation of AgenticFlow, or it will also usually send an email to our email support. Then we will be completely ready to support you in finding a way to connect your data platform and AgenticFlow. There are many ways to work around this, but it will depend on your company's policy. Yeah, when we have the prompt, it's still that same order. Codex will create a workflow, and you can see after nearly 3 minutes, it's been created there. Okay, then. We can see a JSON file with information like this about lead status, about sales web alert info, about same day checklist, escalate note, together. Okay, then. So I'll open the workflow on the Agentic UI. Here we can see a workflow. We can see how each note was created, right? And we'll go into the history section to take a closer look at the details of the result we saw earlier, where Codex was responsible for creating the workflow and also for running this workflow from start to finish. Here, in this part, we'll also have a sample JSON provided specifically for no-shows, so you can see exactly what that looks like in practice. We'll have these inputs here, the initial inputs, and we'll have the full package information for the no-show recovery pack, the recovery package coming from the lead summary, from the intent priority, and from the reschedule message, right? Okay. Internal sales alert note, next step. For this, you can currently see the note where we've clearly stated you might not have Telegram messages, emails, or calendar CRM actions here. So you can also brainstorm with Codex to tell Codex to find suitable notes to create additional next steps, like sending a Telegram message and booking a sale to sending it to the sales reps who need to follow up with these market risk customers. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please leave a like for this video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we'll read and answer them. If you need support if you have questions about connections like MCP connections or questions about setup, or if you find a bug, just reach out to our support email. Send me the URL for the agent or workflow you created that's having issues so we can take a look, find where the error is, and provide better guidance for you. Once again, thank you all and goodbye. See you next time.